Hello, hello. I hope that you are doing well and taking good care of yourself. My name is Nompumelelo Prudence Gubega. I'm a clinical psychologist and also a traditional healer. I am based in Joburg South in South Africa. Welcome to Black Couch Podcast. We are on season 2 of Black Couch Podcast, and welcome to the first episode. I've been thinking, actually about what should be the first topic, and one thing that came to mind for me is do we really sometimes understand the seasons that we are in and also acting according to where we are and also on how we are supposed to position ourselves in the season that we are in? I've been seeing on like TikTok, YouTube, all the other social medias, Instagram, everyone is talking about a vision board and how important that is. And a lady called it so nicely, which I think I'm also going to steal the term. So she didn't really call it a vision board, but she called it an action board. And I think the most important thing in understanding that is that whatever I'm putting in my vision board is things that I am meant to achieve. So welcome to Black Couch Podcast. Today's topic is understanding the season that you are in and positioning yourself according to where you are and according to what you want to achieve in that season. So as I was saying, that the lady called it a action board, and I like the term because it gives so much accountability to us on, okay, these are the things that I've planned for the year and I need to make sure that I achieve these things, and these are the steps that I'm going to take, because it's so easy to form a vision board that actually ends up turning into a fantasy board where things are not achieved but things are actually fantasized about. I think my biggest question is, in creating the vision boards, do we also understand the season that we are in and things that we want to achieve in that season? It's so easy to, especially like friendships, relationships and all of that, to end up inheriting or family, end up inheriting certain visions or certain things that are not really aligned to the season that we are in. So it's very important for us to understand the kind of season that we are in so that we can also learn on how to align ourselves to it. For example, a person can be sitting and saying, no, I want to make sure that by the end of the year I have a car, or someone would say, by the end of the year I want to make sure that my mental health is being taken care of, so I need to take the necessary steps. Or someone would say, by the end of the year I need to make sure that I pay my bond, or we're planning to conceive. There's so many other things, but what are we doing in the time being in our action boards to make sure that we are getting to goals that are actually aligned to us in the season? There's also a very important term of understanding that sometimes people are in their learning seasons so that they get to a point of achieving things that they need to achieve. And what would happen if ever that vision board that is planned doesn't happen accordingly, because the season that you are in is actually in preparation of you getting those things, but you are not ready to receive them. So some actions that come with vision boards come with a lot of processes of how do I make sure that I am ready to receive what I am preparing myself for, or whatever you believe in, the higher universe is preparing myself preparing me for, so that I'm able to maintain the things that I want? What are some of the things do I need to learn or unlearn for me to be able to receive whatever I am planning or praying to get, so that when I get it, I make sure that I am still able to keep it? Because sometimes I feel like there's so many of us that plan in according to the things that we want, but we haven't learned on how to maintain them or how to sustain them while we have them, in a way that, for example, if someone says, I want a family, what are some of the things that you need to sit and unlearn for you to be able to achieve that kind of goal? Another person can say, I want to pay off my bond. What are some of the processes that you need to go through when it comes to saving and learning on how to use money so that you pay off your bond? Someone could say, I want to start a social media, I don't know, be a content creator or something. But what are some of the things that you need to unlearn? Like someone that has anxiety and would say, I want to be a content creator. What are some of the things that you need to go in and learn, maybe in therapy, for you to be able to do that? I think there's so many goals that we set for ourselves, but we never actually look at the process on what are some of the processes that I need to go through for me to prepare myself in receiving those things, and when I have them, to actually sustain them. Another important thing is understanding the season that you are in. Also means understanding the discipline that you need to acquire for you to be able to get into whatever that you want to achieve, or what you have put in your vision board. Because I think there's so many of us that are able to get things, but also are not able to have the discipline for us to keep them, so having the discipline. Or someone would say, actually, I want to make sure that I'm consistent in gym. I want to make sure that I lose weight. I need to make sure that I now keep my body healthy, but the same person is the same person that doesn't have the discipline and will be going and buying fat cakes or a lot of processed foods, or not even moving their body in a day, or not even getting that 10,000 steps as everyone else is doing, those kind of things. So the consistency and discipline is also very important while we put our vision boards / action boards, because we need to also understand that for me to even get to a point of achieving all of those things, there's a sense of discipline that I need to start acquiring for me to get to that point. Also, the action in it, sometimes understand. Someone said it so well, and I think I took that as well. They said, understanding the season that you are in also means that you need to prepare yourself spiritually, mentally, and sometimes it involves a lot of shutting of doors, not in a way of cutting people off, but it also involves a lot of privacy, where it's only your soul and your higher power, where you sit and you plan the stuff that you want, and also understanding that those kind of things that you want to achieve might not happen in that year, and being patient enough with yourself and having compassion for you not to put pressure on yourself, which is also another season that a lot of us need to learn, that putting pressure on ourselves also doesn't allow us to actually sit through the process and learn from the process itself. I always say, like, a process of preparation, the seasons or whatever that we want to achieve, it involves a process of us being patient. It feels like a road trip, It's not only about getting to the destination, but it's about seeing like the scenery. I'm imagining going to Mpumalanga now, and seeing all those mountains and, the panorama road and all of that, and inhaling nature before getting to whatever destination that you are going to. And Mpumalanga has a lot of potholes, so in the process of learning, there's points that it will be unpleasant. It would feel like you are not getting anywhere. It might even burst your tire, but at the end of the day, is what is it that I'm supposed to learn from this process in the preparation of actually reaching all the stuff that I have put on my vision board and actioning them out and understanding which season that I'm in. Another important thing is social media has made it so easy for us to see other people's lives, and I don't think people post everything about their lives, and I think it's so easy for us to be at a point of Nompumelelo is achieving this, or Bali is achieving this, but why am I stagnant, and all of that. But we don't understand that being stagnant is also a season all by itself. Bali might have probably had her own stagnant season at some point, but now this is her season to win. So allowing for that to exist, to say, you know what, as much as I'm not having a winning season, I am having a season where I am still. I'm having a season where I am taking care of myself. I'm having a season where I am learning so much about myself in the stillness or in the rest itself. So I think it's very important for us to understand the season that we are in, because there's certain things that when everything is in a rush, we are not able to inhale them. Imagine if ever oxygen came in a rush, we would not be able to inhale it. So we needed to come at a pace that we are able to inhale it and also breathe carbon dioxide out, So it's the same as anyone's seasons, that if ever someone is winning, that means there is a point that they were not winning and they had to watch other people win. So I'm going to close it off here by saying that understand the season that you are in, and then start acting accordingly. Whether it's a season of stagnation, whether it's a season of rest, whether it's a season of winning, make sure that you start acting accordingly. And also what you put on your vision board, make sure that you action it out. And if ever it happens that it doesn't come true at that point, that means it wasn't a season for it. You don't stop, you try again. But understanding the season that you are in is very important. I hope that you have an amazing week and you take good care of yourself. From me to you, love and light.